one second.
I wonder if this microphone is too.
Yeah, sorry. So now let's try to put the other device as well as possible, the volume. So we keep this one on. Let's see how the echo situation. Yeah?
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good.
Yeah. So, guys, you call yourself Michelle and Brandon instead of what we usually see, Brandon and Michelle. This was the first thing that caught my eye. Can you tell me what's the story? Did you consider this, or did it come naturally, or was this actually a plan?
I
I think
typically it was
typically it was the same thing, kind of like what you're saying.
where it's typically the male
Male
name
name
in
in
front
front
of
of
the
the
female name. So I think
So
we
I
wanted
think we sort of
to make it a little bit
a
different
bit different
and put
and put
the female name
the female
first,
name
but
first, but
also
also
because
because
it
I think
sounded
it sounded better
than
than
Brandon
Brandon
and
and
Michelle.
Michelle. Michelle and Brandon
Kind of rolled
kind of rolled
off
off
the
the
tongue
tongue
a
a
little
little
bit
bit
easier
easier
as
as
well.
well.
So
So
I think it just
Okay.
I think it just kind of
So
fit.
one
So one
doing something a
doing
little bit
something a little bit
different
different
that is
not
not
seen
seen
as
as typical,
typical, and then
because
two because it sounded better too.
as well.
Okay, well, it's nice because it's actually I know of one duet that did this, and after a while, the guy was very frustrated with the solution.
Yeah,
He didn't like.
we think it's not
We think it's not
maybe
such a big deal.
I
I
mean,
mean,
to us,
to
in
us, in reality, it's just
a name,
a name,
the name
and a
before
name
our name,
before a name, and
I don't know, the way
I don't know the way
I
I like
to
to think
think
about
about
it
it
is
is
like
gentlemen
gentlemen
like
like
ladies
ladies
first,
first,
this,
like this, or
I think it's
I think it's
proper in our eyes.
all right.
The female name first for us.
Well, I hope.
I also think
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Brandon is
A
a
mixture of
mixture
like
of like
old
old
school and
school
like
and
new
like
school,
new
right?
school,
I
right?
say
I
old.
get old.
I say
I
old
think
school in the sense
in the
that
sense
like
that
he's been in the
he's been in
salsa
the
scene for
circus
so
for
long,
so
so
long, so
obviously like he
obviously like
knows
he
like
knows
what those
those
like
like
typical standard
standard
like
Mhm.
like
okay
okay,
only the men
only the
speak
men speak
in the
in
workshop, or
workshop, or typically
typically
it's
it's
the
the male's name
male's
and then
name
the female's name, right, or whatever, right?
whatever, right?
And
And
also think he's
he's
a new
new
generation in the
generation
sense
in
that
the
he's
sense
more
that he's
open minded.
Mhm.
So
so
I
That was
picked
my
a good one.
thought. Yeah, that was my thought. That it's nice that it comes natural to you. It doesn't really matter, right? It just sounds good because usually it's treated as a principle, and then a woman is supposed to always accept this second position. But when you change, and then the guy says, "Why do you care?" It doesn't matter. But when she asks to be first, then it matters to him. He feels so. I'm glad that the new generation is doing this fluid revolution.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice to hear. So, guys, what's your story? I'm sorry because I went straight to the question. I didn't introduce you. This is Michelle Morales and Brandon Ayala.
Hello.
They're coming to elSol in November, and I'm just curious about who you are and what's your career path. I know a bit about you, Brandon, from Benny, because he told me about your brotherhood and your story. I know nothing about Michelle, so let's go with Michelle first.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
I
I
started
started
dancing
dancing
salsa
salsa
at 11
at
years
11
old in
years
my
old
hometown in
in
Stamford,
Stanford,
Connecticut, right?
Connecticut.
And I felt like in
Like
the
in
city
the
that I
city that I
was
was
at the
at the
time, I
time,
felt like
I
I
felt like
couldn't
I
grow
couldn't grow
anymore than what I
anything
was
that I
doing,
was
right?
doing.
So at
Right? So at
18,
18,
I joined Yamule. So there's a
so
little
there's a little
background with that.
with that.
Um, when I was 15,
15,
I
I
performed
performed
at one of Yamule's socials, and Osmar
and was not
asked me to join the
to
team
join
at
the team at
15.
15.
But my
But my
director at the
director at the
time, he was
time,
like, no,
no,
like she's gonna stay
she's
here
gonna
with
stay here
us.
with
Like,
us.
they were just so
They were
like,
just so like,
I don't
I
know,
don't know,
protective. They're like, no,
they're
she's
like,
gonna
no,
stay
she's
here.
gonna
So
stay here. So
whatever. That
that
passed,
passed,
and
and
years
years
later,
later,
I saw
I saw
Osman
Osman
at a
at a
congress, and
conference, and
I
I
approached him and I
approached him
said,
and I said,
hey,
hey,
is that
is
offer
that
still
offer still
available?
available?
Like
Like for me to
like still be
like still
part of
be part of
Yamule? And
Yamule.
he just
And he
said,
just said,
yeah, come to the
come to
studio
the
on
studio on
Saturday, watch
Saturday,
a
watch your
rehearsal, and see
rehearsal,
if
and
this is
see if this
something
is
that
something that
interests you.
interests you.
So
So
I went to
I
the
went to
studio and I was
and
like,
I was like,
this is a
this
piece
is
of
a piece
cake.
of
Of course
cake.
I
Of
can
course I
do
can do
this.
this.
And so I had
So
a
I had a
reality check
reality
and
check and
actually,
actually
joined the
joined the
company.
company.
And
And
my
my
version of like being
of
on
like
the
being
team
on your team
is not like
is not like
everybody else's,
everybody
where you
else's,
kind of
where you
have
kind
to
of
go
have to
through
go
these
through
steps
these
in order
steps in
to
order
get
to
to the
get
pro
to the
team,
pro
right?
team,
I
right? Like
went
I went
straight
straight
to the pro protein, but it wasn't easy. I mean, I was there from Monday to Sunday, a lot of training, but it was all worth it. And prior to that, again, like I said, I was just well, I trained in other styles of dance, but I quit everything for salsa. Quit everything for salsa at 11 years old.
So what are other styles did you train?
Well, I was so young, but it's very interesting. I've done like ballet, tap, Irish, Latin jazz, hip hop, Afro. But as soon as I went into my first sunset class, I fell in love. And I
Mhm.
lost all my flexibility, but it was all for the love of salsa because I quit everything. I did. I
Yeah.
quit dancing everything just to
Happened.
focus on salsa.
Happened to me too, at the age of 18. Someone is asking here in our community, what is your nationality, Michelle?
Me?
Yes.
Take a guess, because nobody ever
No
guesses.
one ever guesses. There's no way.
Really?
It's
Really?
difficult.
Guys, you have to keep guessing. I don't know. I don't want to put myself in this position.
It's okay. I'll say it. Oh, I can give a clue.
Mhm.
Whoever guessed it, free private class.
Yes, whoever guesses, you get the first person who guesses, if they get it right, you get a free 30-minute private.
Oh, okay. You see, guys, 30-minute private with Michelle and Brandon, or just Michelle?
Just Michelle. Just Michelle.
Just Michelle, if you guess her nationality. Keep trying.
Don't look me up. We'll see who guesses first, and then if you don't get it right,
Okay.
I'll spell.
Okay, and Brandon, how about you?
For dance what? Dance story?
Yes, whatever you want to share, but let's start with
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah, dance story. So my parents are both dancers. We actually have a family business. Our studio, family business, all the brothers, all the siblings, and both parents dance. So growing up, we would go to a lot of dance socials and things like community events around our city, and see them dance. And we would just tag along. We didn't know how to dance. We didn't know anything about salsa. So at that age, it was very new to us, and it was nice to see our parents dance. So they just kind of pushed us to dance a little bit. They wanted us to do something, anything, whether that goes sport, activity, but not be home, playing games, and that's it. It's just something. Either you're gonna dance or you're gonna do something. My mom took us to boxing class, and we did not like getting in the face, so we said, we'll dance. But from there, we just kept dancing. At a very young age, I was around 9 years old, and then at 11 years old, we started competing. Benny was my competitor. He was more of a dancer. He didn't like anything that the competition was, but my parents would push me to compete and to push myself to be a little bit more competitive and try something at a higher level, more serious, especially at the age of 11. So I went to my first world competition at 11 and got third place. And then from there, fell in love with it. I had a dance partner for a little while, for Natasha, and we won multiple junior world championships together. We traveled together. I think one of the youngest couples to be hired to events. I was 13 and she was 11 years old, and then we danced with each other for a couple of years. Still competed. I competed solo also by myself, and then once we split, we had a little bit of time just not doing anything with no partner, and I started dancing more. A little focusing a little bit on Benny, and we started traveling. And in those travels, we met Michelle. The events we would do, we would actually travel to the same events today. And really quickly, I became really good friends with Michelle. And it would be like every weekend, we would hang out the whole weekend, social dancing, and just party together. We're always dancing, and then we're like.
Now it's no more party. It's like you have to wake up in the morning to rehearse. You cannot party.
No more party, exactly. And then we were really good friends. And once she knew that she was gonna be leaving Yamule pretty soon and wanted to try something new, I was not doing anything as well. We just started a partnership, and then from there it's history. We just keep dancing together since I was in 2017.
Okay, so 6 years, right?
About 6 years.
Yeah.
Not counting the
COVID year. We don't count that.
we were dancing together. We weren't really doing that.
So how do you you don't live in the same city, right? And it's quite like Oregon is quite like the west, right?
It's literally
Yeah,
west, north, east. At
yeah,
that time, I started dancing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning of our partnership, we were literally like we would say, okay, you choreograph this section, I'll choreograph this section. Now let's teach it to each other. Do we like it? Should there be changes? Um, and that's how we would kind of go about the shines to just kind of
Mhm.
speed up the process. And then we would take turns flying to each other to then practice. So it's not very conventional because I always say like we have the short end of the stick, right? Because everybody else gets to rehearse every day, or we live at least in the same like state or city. Whereas for us, it's like we see each other at events, and that's sometimes where we have to practice.
I also think it brings, in a way, it's, I mean, it sucks because, right, we don't know each other, like she's saying, we can't practice every day together. But when we do see each other, those rehearsals are very productive because we know we don't have the same advantages, the same privileges as other couples do that live in the same city. So we're like hours and hours of rehearsals. The product can sometimes be even better, or we think quicker, we're able to adapt quicker and faster because we know we don't have the time. So we really do push ourselves in those rehearsals. We make those rehearsals like if it was like 3 months and then in 1 week.
Yeah, you have to be effective.
Yeah,
Yeah, very effective.
And then when you, where are you now? Which event?
we're in Miami. Miami, South
Okay.
And actually, we're performing our first routine here. The first routine we ever did was performing here tonight. So
Okay.
like
Well,
our 27 routine, our baby.
Yeah.
27?
2017 routine.
Oh,
First
20.
routine.
I thought you did 20.
No,
That would be nice.
that's an elSol.
And actually, the last time I was at this event, Congress, was like over 10 years ago. I didn't mention this, but I was dancing with Jason Molina with Rompecabezas from Puerto Rico. And this was the last time I was at this event over 10 years ago with Jason Molina.
That's exciting.
So, guys, how do you define your style? Can you say something? How does your dance differ, or what's your philosophy? What it is that you're trying to transmit with when you teach? What do you bring that's unique?
I feel like what's really cool about like Brandon and myself is that we're able to combine two different styles because I originally come from like that training.
And I trained with Ayala for many years, so it comes from the editorial style, completely different technique from
So I think it's cool that we're able to combine both styles and still be like true to ourselves. Because like I said, Brandon's very open. I think I'm pretty open also with just like coming up with choreography and doing tricks. And I don't know. I think I don't know. We try to add like power and elegance to our choreographies. I don't know if that's necessarily something different.
I think if you see our style when we're dancing, it's almost like you can't put a tag on it, right? It's not traditionally, it's not your style. We're dancing on you, but the style has many influences from a lot of things, from both techniques, of course, that come from you, but the style specifically, it doesn't look like an editorial style or a Yamule style. More so has a little bit of stuff that she learned. For example, like I feel like Michelle's flavor. A lot of people think she's Puerto Rican, so I think a lot of flavor is almost like a Puerto Rican style. Maybe even dancing with Jason at the time, and me growing up on the West Coast, I look up to people like Johnny Vasquez, Francisco Vasquez, brothers. These competitors, Cristian Oviedo, they're very powerful and sharp. So. That's something that I always looked up to as well.
This is really interesting because actually made me aware because here in Europe, we kind of perceive, okay, there is that like the LA style just almost doesn't exist, right? We know there's two, right? There's New York. Europe now has gone very much into the fusion direction, so there is a lot of the fusion with salsa and Afro-Cuban, and then like we completely forgot about LA, and then actually made me see that LA has this really like the flashy, the powerful effect. I mean, also in other dances, right? Because there's a lot of hip hop, high heels, everything. Right? Yes, this is like good to know. Like my understanding has been broadened.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, and we like to represent like the East Coast and the West Coast. So sometimes I'll say, yeah, just like announce us East Coast, West Coast, because we do try to bring both styles into the mix.
Okay, so Jessica is saying hello. I'm also trying to mute Jessica. Um, no one has guessed Michelle's
I
nationality
know,
yet.
so I'm just gonna spill it because nobody wants to go private. So everybody thinks I'm Puerto Rican. Everybody, like people, I know Tito, like con Tito Tamara, he'll be like, he goes, oh my God, I'm sorry, Nena, it's not because you're Puerto Rican. I'm like, it's okay. Everybody thinks I'm Puerto Rican. He's like, yeah, you look Puerto Rican. But no, look, Damien,
David
I'm,
and Puerto
I,
Rican.
come on, Damien, you know me. But no, I'm actually Ecuadorian, 100% Ecuadorian.
This was what I was thinking. I was thinking.
And oh, really?
Yeah. This is because I was thinking, what else? Around. Yeah, with your face features and
Latin
so on.
America,
So, but I wasn't too embarrassed to say it. I didn't.
No, no. I get everything. I get everything but Ecuador. So it's
Actually,
okay.
if your name wasn't Morales, I'd be also going for maybe Middle East. Because this could also be my daughter. She's half Iraqi and she looks like a Latina. So.
Oh, yes.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. So I saw you for the first time. I saw the Ayala brothers in Mambo Land when Adolfo did it, I think, for the first time,
Yes.
2018. So this is what I heard of your existence. But I think you come a lot to Europe
I think recently, yes, a lot more than before, for sure.
because it's like now I feel like you're becoming more. Yeah, I mean, for us it's a fresh name, but it's not really a fresh name because you have such a long career, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think now in Europe it's starting to become we're starting to go a little bit more towards that side. I think a lot of our beginning of our career was a lot of Latin America, a lot of course US. Before it would just be almost just Mambo Land for Europe, but now we've been traveling a little bit more to Europe. So nice.
Okay, so in your duet, guys, what are your features that you like about each other and the things you dislike that piss you off? How do you argue? Give me some meat.
To be honest, we don't argue.
Yeah, people are
They
like,
actually hate us because
people
of this.
no, people are freaked out by us. They're like, what? And I think it's just because like we try to be as respectful as possible because we don't want to cross that line and end up like just
making it a habit.
making it a
Talk
habit.
to each other a certain way. Again, because we only have so much time to rehearse.
Yeah, we
If
don't
we
have
waste
time.
it fighting,
We don't have time to
we'll never do choreography.
We
Take
don't
us
have
5
time.
years.
Yeah,
There's
we
no
have
time.
we obviously have like disagreements, but our disagreements are so polite. Ashley makes fun of us. She goes, "Michelle, you're so careful when you speak to Brandon."
How else?
I mean, I'm like,
Very
yeah.
fair.
I mean, I think we're just, I don't know.
I think it's a respect thing.
Yeah, and I think it's how we were brought up too. Like, I'm not gonna like, I'm not just gonna like, he's not my boyfriend, I'm not husband, With him, I can be like, what are you doing? But I guess okay, like pros and cons. I guess is what you're asking. Brandon just likes to sleep too much.
What?
I'm like, oh my God, Brandon, get up. Get up. That's the only thing. But it's because he's younger. He's 7 years younger than me. So I think that is that's the only thing I have a struggle with.
Okay.
But he gets up eventually.
Yeah, once it's rehearsed,
How long do you sleep then?
I sleep 15 hours. No, I'm just kidding. I guess it depends on time we go to sleep. I mean,
He's a night owl. So he sleeps all day and then it's all night.
I think it's like a salsa time where it's like you sleep during the day, you're up late, you're rehearsing late, your congress is late, so when you're home, you just like to sleep. But when we rehearse, she said she's at my house for a week, we rehearse early.
Yeah.
We do double rehearsal early and at night, so it's like I did not want to wake up in the morning.
Someone is saying here, Michelle sleeps too.
Yeah. That's
Michelle likes sleeping too.
That's when I was younger, not anymore. I don't
I think Michelle's is she loves Instagram. So sometimes we'll be like, time to rehearse, and she'll like coffee, Instagram. But then to actually start, we do take sometimes. I'll be sometimes ready, but she loves Instagram. It gets this person up too. Like
Really?
1 hour later, we start rehearsal.
That's his pet peeve of mine. Really?
That's the only thing I can think of. That's it. That's it. That's all it is.
That's so cute.
I
So,
guess.
if you have disagreements, is it about like specific solutions in the choreography, or what or
Exactly. That's
teaching?
exactly what it is. She'll have an idea. I mean, the thing we're really together, we're really open to hearing each other's ideas. I feel like that's when we create the best product. So it's like, okay, we used to have a disagreement. No, I think this should go here. No, I think this should go here. And then we'll have like
Mhm.
battle, and we'll be like, let's see what like this person thinks.
Yeah, so then
Let's see what they think
then
is
we'll
better.
show somebody. We won't say anything. We'll say, hey, like, can you look at these two like options and tell us what you think? And then because we're so open-minded, if somebody really is telling us, you guys, I think this looks better, like we just shut up and we're like,
Okay.
okay, like you're right. Okay, let's just do it.
But before we get to that point, it would just be like, no, this,
But I
that,
think this.
that.
I think this.
Mhm. Okay.
But that's the most like polite way. We never like, nothing crazy.
So what does your normal routine in a day look like when you're not in a congress, but when you're back home? Each of you, right? That you live separate lives, and also you have separate projects, right? Because
Yes.
you dance with your brother.
Mhm.
I saw you do a lot of ladies stuff, also, Michelle, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. So I moved to the Midwest. A lot of people don't know this. I moved to the Midwest because of my husband's job. So I live in the Midwest, and because there's no real salsa community where I live right now, um, I do online classes. So for me, during COVID, online classes went very well for me. I was very blessed that it went really well for me. So I feel like I gave people the opportunity from all over the world to learn with me and brought us to come together and dance together. So I was just able to continue my virtual classes. Now I do a performance team online. So literally when we land Monday, I do teach from home. I do rehearsals from home. It's not ideal, but I feel like I make it work. I make it work. And then Brandon owns the studio, so
Yeah. So
he's dancing 24/7.
yeah, back home with the family again, family business. Now we're going 17, almost 18 years of our studio. Um, so it's kind of like your typical dance studio life. Where you come home, you take your lessons, you have your beginner teams, your advanced teams, bachata teams, a little bit of everything. It's a team, so it's my brother and now just my other brother because Benny now has his own studio in Seattle, Washington with Ashley. So we moved to Seattle, and now it's just my other brother, and myself, and my parents. So
okay.
it's a team of four, and we also have some instructors from our studio that are now helping us a little more. Students that we had since young kids, and now they're adults. So they're now becoming instructors as well. So when let's say we're gone for a week, we're out in Europe, and we have people to cover those classes back home. And if not, it's usually just us teaching classes, just all
Okay.
day classes.
So Michelle, so you're not in New York anymore, right?
No, I'm not.
Hmm. Somehow your image, like I associate it with New York.
I know, and I still like to represent New York, so I moved to Michigan.
Hmm.
So there's no like I mean I don't dance at all in Michigan, so I feel like it's a little weird for me to say Michelle from Michigan when I don't really do anything dance related here. So I feel like I just still want to keep that New York representation, or even like I've been saying representing the East and West Coast lately also. Just because I feel like people still kind of connect me or tie me to New York, but then it can get confusing because then someone will buy a flight to New York without asking,
Oh
and
my God.
I'm like, no, I'm not in New York anymore. So yeah,
Okay. What's your favorite food?
Peruvian,
Oh,
Italian,
What's Peruvian food?
Mexican.
I'm Mexican, so Mexican,
Okay.
Italian, Mexican, Italian.
Okay. Okay.
Peruvian
And
is
how is Peruvian food? I don't really
So
know.
I love a really traditional dish, a Peruvian dish, which is called lomo saltado, which is basically like what, like
It's like fries,
fries, rice,
like
soy sauce, beef mixed with
vegetables.
peppers, uh, onions.
It's
It's
good.
just too good. I don't even want to talk about it because
It's very good. It's very good.
I want to
Okay.
talk about it
And we're in
because
Miami, so it's probably even good
yeah,
Peruvian for you.
it's getting me hungry.
Mhm.
It's so good. And I love Italian pasta,
Italian.
pizza.
Italiano's the best.
Yes.
It's really
And then
good.
I love tacos.
Mexican food too.
Mexican. Mhm. What are your plans, guys, for the next 5, 10 years, together or individually?
Well, in a few weeks,
We're
we have a
debuting.
debut, a new show, which we're
Okay.
probably gonna do in Sol. It's gonna be our newest routine. It's been 2 years since we have a new routine.
Mhm.
So it's very exciting, and we've been working really hard. We got lots of lots. For us, again, it takes us a little bit longer, especially if we want to put a good product where we feel like sure and confident. It does take a long time. So now we feel ready, and we're super excited to do that. And that's just in 2 weeks. And then I guess in years, long term, we're not sure. I don't know.
Hopefully, still be partners. Hopefully, he doesn't think I'm too old for him anymore.
True.
Because Brandon's early 20s, guys, and I'm. Oh my God. 30.
Oh my God.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully continue dancing, continue sharing our knowledge with the world. Not only performing because we know that a lot of event organizers and studios really do care sometimes more for workshops as opposed to shows. So it's just being aware that we're still, sharing knowledge and giving quality not only for the shows but the workshops in particular, because we know that some people don't have that reach to come to the US or to come to all of the events that we're at. So when we are at specific events, we do really like to cater to the audience and the students, what we can teach them. So I know Brandon uses this like term of like, we're not teaching you what you like, we're teaching you what you need. But I know that can go, both ways, because some people want to be challenged, or some people want to know the technique. So again, I feel like we try to give as much as we both can, given with what we both
So
know.
what's the dilemma? I mean, I'm asking because I also know that the business inside out. But when you're saying so, some people want to be challenged, some people don't. Do you mean that sometimes it's hard that you have to like give them easy stuff in which they're gonna be look good and be happy, or
I,
sometimes that they have to learn something that is not so flashy, or
I
what is
think
the dilemma?
I think it comes more from a technique
Mhm.
standpoint, where a lot of people want to learn material in these workshops, which again it can be challenging. It could be good, but technique can also be challenging. So some people maybe they feel that they have the technique down correctly, so to them it's easy, and they don't. I don't know. I guess they don't want that because to them it's easy, but in reality, to do it correctly, it is challenging in a
I
different
mean,
way.
it's everybody's dilemma how to uh, sell a technique in a way that's interesting in a
Exactly.
way,
Yes,
right?
it has to come from the way we teach it and the way
Mhm.
we break it down to people.
And I feel like, I don't know, yeah, because it's a challenging question, because you're like, well, you don't want everybody leaving your workshop and saying like, oh my God, I hated it, I didn't learn anything, it was so hard, like I didn't get it. But then what happens if you're in a room where there's people who are advanced that are coming because they want to like learn from you, and then there's like a beginner intermediate. So I feel like we try to do like a happy medium where like, we'll take it slow in the beginning, we'll see how they're doing, and then we'll just try to pick it up and then challenge them at the end. But I feel like there have been times where we have planned like a workshop, and then we get
Mhm.
to the workshop and we're like, okay, change of plans,
Mhm.
because we're
Mhm.
catering, we're trying to cater to the students, and we'll ask, all right, guys, do you want to do more? Is this good? And we'll try to be as interactive as we can.
Mhm. Yeah, this is, I mean, I think this is a challenge for everybody because for me as an organizer, I also sometimes get feedback from the hardcore salseros that they were not challenged in the workshops. So I also think I am giving the levels, and some classes are supposed to be hard.
So,
But
what are your thoughts with that? What are your thoughts as an organizer if the level says intermediate advanced? When I see something that says intermediate advanced, I'm already prepared to like be ga 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 ga,
Be
right?
faster,
And then so
faster music.
right, and then what happens if a a more beginner student or like beginner intermediate comes to the class and they're not getting it? Do you stick to what the level in the description is, or do you adjust?
actually, I think the combination intermediate advanced makes no sense. So we only have advanced classes or intermediate classes or open level, sometimes improver. So open level, it's usually some solo body movement classes where everyone can just, when the instructor kind of builds it up so everybody is happy,
Right,
right?
progressive,
Will
yeah.
work on the structure of feet, right? And then the advanced people will pull out the details in their bodies. So that's an open level. Intermediate is like when you know your basic figures, you're already a social dancer, but it's let's chill. We're not gonna kill you
Okay,
here.
okay.
And then we have the dark violet color for the schedule that says advanced, and then this class is expected to be hard, and then
High level
you
dancing.
have the right to a class from which some people will leave, right? I mean, you don't want the advanced people to be leaving, right?
Yeah,
But I think we're missing even more differentiation. I have three blocks of classes at salsa. We should be having like more improver, for instance, someone who's not a beginner, right? They done their basic courses, but they're not intermediate yet. Uh,
okay.
and this is, I think, this section is not really well taken care of. So I would like to be able to have more space and actually introduce more of that.
So you're
But
so you're saying stick to what it says.
I mean, at elSol, because you have thousands of
Yeah.
people.
Right.
But when you're in a smaller event, when there's just one block of classes,
Of
then you
course.
may have to talk to the
Adjust.
organizer, and,
Yeah.
because they don't have an alternative, right? And at
Yeah.
elSol, if they leave this class, they will go to two others or maybe bachata,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yes,
But
true.
that's not what we don't want to kick people out to go
No,
join bachata.
Of course, of course, of
yeah.
course.
But I mean, it is a dilemma.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure. I think
It
we always
happens.
run into that situation where should we stick to it or should we not? Or
but
do
I
we think
think
they can handle it? Or
the intermediate slash advanced, it is already a recipe for disaster.
of
Uh,
course, because sometimes when we have those classes, we start a little slower and then we just kick it up at the end. But other than that, again, like I guess you're right. There's not a lot of structure in that class because you don't know which route to go. You're gonna get a
exactly.
little bit of everything, a little bit of every level.
But
So
there can be years of gap, between an intermediate and advanced person.
that's
So.
true. That's true.
By the way, somebody asked if Benny and Brenda are twins.
We are not. No, we're not. We're not. If not, Benny would be beautiful like me. No, just kidding. No,
No, yeah.
Benny and Michelle are actually the same age. So me and Benny are 7 years apart as well.
Mhm. 7 years apart. Yeah, but you look. I mean, on stage you have similar face features, so you kind of look.
We look like everyone thinks we're twins.
Yeah. Brandon is a very mature dancer, so he
Mhm.
doesn't look his age on stage.
Mhm.
He doesn't look his age on stage.
She said only in person.
Um,
He said, Cisco said, thank you, I have kids now.
Oh my god.
welcome. Guys, what would you advise to yourself from today's perspective, to yourself at the age of 19? I mean, for you, Brandon, it's not really much difference.
so,
So
3 years ago,
3 years ago, I'm the same person.
I don't know.
Right.
But no, I think this question is also for you because
She said, so when you were 10,
When you were 10,
don't eat all the snacks.
what would you say to the Michelle at 19 from today's perspective with all the experience you have?
To believe in yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because because I feel like I don't know. I struggle with this. I struggle with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I struggle with confidence. I put like this face on stage that I'm like, ha, I'm here, I'm ready. But there has been times backstage where I have scared Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
In New York, I remember he's like, like, I remember him.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I
he's like,
was look good, and I was getting nervous.
and then I would like ruin his one because he's like, he's like, are you okay? Like, you're scaring me. And I'm like, no, I'm okay. So to like believe in yourself, but I think it's because like maybe like back in the day, or it's a very common thing where like your directors or your I don't know, like your instructors, like they don't really tell you like you're doing great. That's not like what you want. Like that's not. It's like kind of like a
In a professional
it's like in a professional like feel like you don't tell your students that they're doing good, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
There's expectation.
So it was kind of so I think I'm still struggling with that. So I guess I would just say like be confident, like you know what you're doing, keep hard. Like I feel like I'm very disciplined. So I just feel like give it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think for me, telling my 10-year-old self. Actually, no, I would. I tell my younger self is to take your time. I
Mm-hmm.
think being younger, you try to gain a certain respect because you're young. That you try to
Grow up
too quick, and you try to act something that you're not at that age, and try to take yourself too seriously, and you start not having as much fun because everything's so serious. You want to be taken serious. You want to dance at a certain level.
It's like
So you want to
everybody
be
expects you to grow up too fast.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we already about like 15, 16 years old. I wanted to, like my mindset, like Michelle said, it's a very mature mindset. Like as a dancer, I didn't think of myself as a teenager. I would try to compare myself already to the adults and try to get to the level of the adults being younger. So it was like I would just rush, and you would lose lose the fun out of it.
And we have this conversation because we're always like, oh my God, like in 5 years, after 10 years, there's gonna be a new generation. And then we're like, Brandon, wait, you're part of that generation. But then you're like, wait, you're not, because like you're always with us, but in terms of age, you are
Mm-hmm.
newer. But yeah.
So I think that would be like my biggest one. Would be like take your time because you still have a lot of time left. And a lot of time, a lot of space to do a lot of things that you're gonna want to do. And I would do it. So
Okay, that's nice. That's different because you have a different story. Um, being in a dancer's business and family.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely a lot of expectation. Younger. Oh, I think in general, besides the scene, there's a lot of expectation. Always. Things change. And when you're dancing at high level, there's a lot of expectation.
Okay, so how do you experience it like now, for instance? Do you feel the pressure of expectations?
I do.
And what kind of expectations?
Of course, because I feel like again we categorize ourselves as the newer generation of dancers as far as the couple. So the couple that came before us did a really great job. Of course, we have a lot of great dancers already that come through the salsa scene. So there's always that expectation of keeping that level of dancing high, either at the same caliber or higher, because it's a newer generation. We should have the tools now to become better. So there's always that expectation of like your new show needs to be better than your last show. Your classes need to be the top. You're young, you should be killing yourself. Like things like this. So like, there's always that expectation as far as a professional that has to be. You have to meet them.
I guess this is
Keep up. Exactly.
this is generally hard for a couple because because I also used to perform internationally here in Europe, and when a new couple emerges, it's a first fusion of movements, of philosophies. It's a wow, one show, second show, third show, and then people kind of get used to your fusion of styles, and it's really hard to keep reinventing yourself all the time. But it's not new and fresh anymore, although you're doing even better job, or you're more precise, you're faster. So yeah, this is tough.
And I think something that we've told ourselves is that with every routine, we try to mix it up. Like we try to do different styles. Like 1 minute I pick the song, the next one Brandon picks the song, then I pick the song. because again, we don't want it to look like just a recycled routine. Like, oh, okay, well, we've already seen them, so okay, okay, we already know what they're gonna do, like the turn pattern or the footwork or this. Like, yeah, we're known for our dancing. Like a lot of our colleagues tell us that all the time. Like we're known for our dancing, and by dancing, I mean footwork and movement. Um, Not necessarily like crazy turn patterns and tricks, but we like to try to incorporate everything because some people tell us, "Why are you killing yourself doing tricks? Are you going to compete?" And we're like, "No, we're just trying to push ourselves."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so definitely this new routine that we're doing, it's kind of like it signifies that of pushing yourself to the limit, because the new routine really has pushed us in a different way. We've learned to connect with each other on a whole other level because we've tried to reach, I guess, the next step of our dancing together. And for sure, the product shows that expectation, I guess, of us feeling that pressure. Like, let's do something good.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Where do you find inspiration?
Oh my God, a lot of our colleagues. I think specifically for this new routine, I don't know. I would say like Karina and Rafael, Ernesto and Denise. There's so many, but we like to get inspired watching like old videos.
I love watching really old school videos, like a lot of like big release for patterns or ideas. Because
What's old school for you? Like the 90s, the 2000s, or
90s, 2000s? Yeah, like the old school LA Salsa Congress back in 2000, 2001, 2000, all those you'll find some hidden gems in those before DVDs. But now there's a lot of those videos on YouTube. You'll find a lot of I guess content where there's so much stuff that they were doing back then that to this day is still amazing. Whether it's the tricks, whether the pattern, whether it's the performance, it was at that time another level. So even to this day, like you see those videos, like wow, they're doing some crazy stuff. So a lot of inspiration comes from what has been done before, and you try to like make it your own. And I guess a lot of influence from like videos that we see nowadays, even on Instagram, as far as like tricks and movements.
Yeah, there's so many like cool acro people. It's amazing.
Okay. Do you guys social dance? Because I know it's not a very New York thing. Like when the New York artists show up in Europe, they're picky with the social dancing. So I'm asking.
Michelle. You can tell Michelle. She'll be the one like, okay, we have workshop tomorrow early. It's time to put.
No, I mean that's obviously
I'll be the last person in the social.
Yeah, I'll be like, Brandon, we have a social at 9 a.m. He'll be like, okay, I'll see you in the room at 7. I'm like, Brandon. I like social dancing when I'm not pressured to social dance.
If you're not, what? Pressure.
Like when they make it like a demand. Okay, like you need to have this, and I'm just like, okay, like I feel like I love social dancing, but now you're sucking the social dancing out of me, and now like I'm now forced to, because I say yes to everybody, but it's just like, okay, but now you want me to, like, for example, here they sent us a message, and they want us here in 2 blocks because they do a lot of pool parties here. So they said, okay, we need you guys at least for 1 hour at the pool party at 5 p.m. They said dancing, yeah. And then they said, and then after the shows, you guys can come down at like 1 a.m. for 1 hour. So just like them saying 1 hour, maybe it's a little, maybe it's a lot, but for me, I was like, that was nice. That was considerate. Like they were just like, hey, we just need you for 1 hour. Were we there for just 1 hour? No, we were there for a long time. But it felt nice, me just being like, okay, they just want us here present, and I just want to be like in the moment as opposed to like, I don't know, some people having to give me tickets to like dance.
What?
That's in Asia.
Oh, that's why
That's in Asia.
You need to dance from this time to this time, like you want.
Yeah,
and they keep reminding you dance.
It's their culture. And they do it like that. So in Asia, like it's like back to back to back to back to back, and you're just like, okay, it's a little overwhelming.
At this time,
Yeah,
even on
it's
social
really good
dancing,
stuff.
I feel part of the experience too is like when there's good music, you listen to the music. If there's a concert, you're watching the concerts and stuff like that, dancing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
like a big part of the social dance experience.
We love Brandon loves social dancing. I love social dancing. I just don't like when it's forced.
Of course. Hmm.
Yeah,
Does that happen that it's forced?
yeah,
many
Yeah.
events, yeah.
yeah. At
Hmm.
events,
Not forced, but like pressure.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. I feel like many events is yeah. The number is pretty high up there with events. All right, guys, we need to do social, or it's just like you feel like the organizers are just like staring at you, and I'm just like, oh my god, like I need to shimmy or something while I'm standing there, but I'm just like,
I do consider Michelle and I social dance. Yeah, we always
Hmm.
we're always at the social
yeah,
social dancing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not like we'll skip out on a social. We always have to
Yeah, yeah,
work.
no, I'm asking because it's a nice controversial discussion because I have sometimes tips from my colleagues. Oh, you should make your artist dance and so on. And I mean, elSol is such a big event. There are so many amazing social dances from all over the
And
world.
yeah, and it's like you want to be there. You want to
Yeah,
be there.
so
Yeah,
I try to create the conditions that just people want to be there. Sometimes someone is super exhausted. I mean, Kara is gonna do 14 hours this year, in for instance, in elSol.
yeah.
Or just after the age of 35, just rehearsing, performing, and teaching. It's not a regular studio class, right? The congress class is kind of a bit of performance, a bit of
Right.
showmanship. It takes a lot more
Of
effort,
course,
and
of course. Or if you have an
uh,
early workshop, like
yeah,
guys, I can't be here till 5 in the morning.
it's somehow when an artist social dances and he or she are not spotted in that moment, then people think, oh, they didn't social dance,
Oh, of
because they're
course.
so visible that you kind of when you don't see them all night, you think they're gone completely. So it's tough because yes, it supports the community. It's what people are, the people, the participants are looking for. But I mean,
Right.
I've also been a dancer and a performer, so I don't make pressure. But I just always say that it would be nice to catch them on pictures and just to kind of just with the looks, even the
Of
Yeah.
course,
artist.
yeah.
I
So
think
we're trying
somebody
to,
asked us
yeah,
who our
your
favorite
favorite
dancers are.
dancers. Yeah.
You or me?
Michelle go first.
Okay. Well, I'm probably gonna name like women because like I look up to them and that's kind of where I get my inspiration from. But I feel like my top two favorite dancers and who I get inspired with when I'm dancing or who I think about sometimes when I'm dancing is Grisel Ponce.
Yes. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I was
Grisel
thinking about her.
Ponce.
Amazing.
1000%. And then my next one would be Tanya Canarza. Those two it's just who I feel like I connect with. I'm
Mm.
not saying anybody's better
Yeah.
or worse, but for me, those are the two like female salsa artists that I connect with the most, and those are my favorite dancers.
Yeah, Grisel inspired so many people. I was taking her classes, and I love her, miss her in the community
Yeah,
also.
she was
I know.
for me the best. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Seeing her on stage was something else.
Oh my
It was
god.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think for me, uh, Johnny Vasquez, those videos that I would see from the 2000s when he was,
Mhm.
like you could say, like at his top game, and he was coming out with his best shows. Even to this day, he's still doing amazing shows. But at that time, I guess because he was like around my age, 20 years old, 21 years old, like the way he was dancing was incredible. At that, again, this is like 20 years ago, and then
Yeah, he was like the Michael Jackson of
it
the
was
salsa
it was
community.
crazy, and you would hear like how other artists from that time, like Tita Tamara or people that would talk how they would speak of him, like when his performance, everyone like, oh, always closing the show, like it was something amazing, so precise, so fast, so strong, footwork, movement, a little bit of everything. So he was for me one of my favorites, and then of course Adolfo Lindacochea, because one, we've learned a lot from him, a lot of respect for him, not just his dancing but his mindset, and he's a very good businessman. But of course, his dancing and what we saw was also
Mm.
it's an amazing performer and very versatile. Can dance elegant, can dance strong, can dance cha cha, can dance boogaloo, can be funky, can be fast. It's very
And for well, I guess we want to talk about males. And so one of my favorite male artists because I think it was just the word that you said, so versatile, is Eddie Torres Jr. I think he's so versatile. I think he can do anything.
He's amazing. So hard to get a deal to work with him. It's so
Yeah.
hard to get a hold of him.
Yeah, so talented, so talented.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good.
Actually,
Mhm.
we were gonna dance together, me and Eddie Torres Jr. Yeah, when we were little kids, but
Okay.
just didn't, just didn't happen. But that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. Very good.
Is there any message to the salsa community that you'd like to add? How do you feel? Actually, maybe in America you don't feel that so much. The pressure of bachata, the bachata numbers.
I mean, bachata still, I
It's
think,
taking over.
it's kind of
Yes.
crazy right now. The bachata wave in U.S. especially is
Really?
big. It's very big right now.
Yeah, it's taking over.
Mhm.
I told Brandon we need to do a bachata intro.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. One, because I mean, right now bachata music in general is very mainstream, so it
Yes.
has a lot of reach. A lot of people, there are a lot of young people interested in bachata right now because now not just Latin artists are making bachata music, but now you have U.S. artists, American artists doing bachata mixes,
Hmm.
bachata in English, and things like this. So a lot of people are attracted to that because it's new, it's hot, it's
It's
fresh.
pop, right? It's like a
It's now
popular dance.
part of
Yeah.
pop culture, exactly. So right now, of course, it's going to be a little more popular. The events are going to be bigger. The socials are going to be more packed. Classes are going to be more packed as well because that's what people are wanting right now. So that makes sense.
Hmm. So, do you feel like in the U.S. events, congresses, the disproportion between salsa and bachata, that there is more bachata, less salsa, or what's the?
I think it depends on the event.
Okay.
I think it depends on the event and the artist they're bringing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I believe there's still, like, as far as big events, there's still bigger salsa events than bachata events. Like salsa events, I think are still what's attracting the people the most
In the U.S.
in the U.S.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's very rare when you see a really big bachata festival. There's not a lot.
Okay.
There's not many. I can
Okay.
name probably like 50 big salsa events in the U.S. There's a lot.
Okay.
A lot more.
Here there is a lot, like just purely bachata, thousands of people in the bachata congress. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of bachata weekenders and things like that. There's a lot here in the U.S. Probably like every weekend. Bachata weekend.
What are the American exports, like the international bachata teachers? I mean, Alex and Desiree,
Oh, Alex is Fausto.
Fausto, and that's, I don't know more really.
Maybe Ataca de la Mana still.
But the sensual bachata, the
Sensual is, they love their sensual here.
No, but I'm saying I feel like sensual would be more like in Europe. I would say like the famous.
I mean, here they always bring in the European
Okay.
Yeah.
from outside.
Interesting. Hmm.
Yeah, here there's always they bring one Europe artist, famous, and then they'll like sell out an event with just one. That's all they need. And people want to take classes with them.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it was created in Spain, so
Yeah.
the style, and then all the Spanish couple, I like,
And now there's like
even
100 Spanish couple now.
exactly B, C, D class dancers. They dance very similar. They learn
Here,
from
like, even US, like I'm not gonna, like, I won't say a name, but like they'll bring like just announce that they're from Spain, and that already is a selling point. Just boom.
Wow.
Wait, you're saying
Like any
US dancers will
no,
say
like US people will bring someone from Spain.
Oh,
maybe not the
right.
maybe not
That's
the
not the best.
maybe not the best, but just someone from Spain. And people, boom.
That's an easy market. I want to do an event.
100 students in a weekender, like sold out, 5 out, like something crazy like that. It's just like, again, like you said, like, since it was created there, and they have maybe a look, and people just say it's just, people like want to learn.
Yeah.
And they do have the tech. I do think they have the technique down. Maybe not the best ones, and maybe they didn't create it, but they know their stuff. They train.
Yeah. Well, it's like salsa from New York, right? Salsa
Yeah.
from LA, or salsa from Puerto Rico, from Cuba, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's funny that bachata is from Spain now. The evolution of cultures is fascinating. We're part of a process.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Thank you guys for your time. Is there anything you would like to add? Oh, tell us about the classes you're gonna teach, because you're gonna have a lot of classes. Make sure, guys, you join at elSol. There's gonna be 5 in total or 6. I get confused. Like,
I get confused too.
yeah,
It's too many.
Michelle,
It's so many. I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa,
so
whoa, whoa, whoa,
yeah,
whoa,
so
whoa.
Michelle, you're
Yeah.
gonna do styling. Ashley's gonna do styling. Then Brandon and Benny are gonna do a footwear class. And
in
then
partner, in a partner.
yeah, each couple is gonna do a class, and then the one together. I think all of you.
I think so,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. So usually, I guess because we're like on live now, or
Mhm.
we're talking now. So usually, I do styling, but the issue with I think the word styling is that I feel like it targets only women.
Yeah, let's change that. We don't. I don't. I'm not devoted
Because
to the word.
no, because I just feel so bad because some people will be like, oh my god, I wanted to take your class, but it said styling, and I was like, but my styling is not always like
Yeah.
this, and I'm just like I can add arm styling, but it doesn't necessarily mean like just ladies. So that has happened so many times where I'm just like, unless like you want a styling class, because for me when I hear styling I think arms. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I think for me. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, sometimes I ask if that's what you want, I will gladly do it. But I know that I like to incorporate everything. Yeah, arm styling, body movement, footwork, but so that everybody can join. Because I don't like to discriminate. I want everybody to be there.
Okay, yeah, it's a good idea. We actually have, here in Eastern Europe, there's always a lot of women, so it's a good option to
Yeah.
unload the disproportion,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to send women to a class. But we
Yeah.
can, because Carol was raising the same thing, the same subject, that is just she can just do a class,
Yeah,
footwork,
Yeah, because
technique,
like
body movement.
for like men, it's not called men's
It's called
footwork.
footwork,
yeah,
just footwork.
it's just footwork
Yeah,
usually.
but for ladies, it's always
Even
ladies.
then, sometimes they'll put like men's styling, but I don't know what men's styling is because I don't know if a woman can do like I don't know if what they mean men's styling meaning powerful. I mean a woman can do that as well, like hitting things like that. But it's like we don't I don't know we don't really
I don't
use
know
like
what. Yeah, I don't know
arms.
what they categorize it like that.
So usually
Yeah.
what I teach is specifically footwork because anyone can anybody.
I think the idea is to get inspired by the interpretation, because styling is an interpretation. But we should also be teaching people that when there is a footwear class with 2 of you, right? For instance, teaching a footwear class, that is a styling class, right? Because you move in you finish the movement in your own feminine or masculine way, or whatever unisex version, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That is actually, they should be also focused on this, not wait for a special styling class, right?
I think
But
that's why
also,
yeah, I think that's why we've been categorizing our classes a little bit differently now. For example, like Michelle does like Morales movement. It's her styling and her style, like her movement. Benny and I, Ayala Mambo style, Mambo Ayala style, which is like if you want to learn how to dance in our styling, in our way of dancing, our type of footwork, you take that class. It's not
you have to
specific
send this
men.
to me, because these are good names. I'm gonna take notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ayala Mambo, Ayala Mambo,
We call it Mambo
Alo
Ayala.
Alo Ayala. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Michelle's
Morales.
Morales movement.
Mm-hmm. Give me more.
I explained Morales movement.
You said give it
I
to
love
me.
that name. Morales movement's cool. More like for example, like our partner works classes. We like
These have been popular. So okay.
yeah, here in
These
the States
classes
has
have
been
been
super popular.
So usually they'll name a class like intricate turn patterns, or advanced turn patterns, or crazy turn patterns. But the one that we've been like, if somebody asks like, oh, what do you want to name this workshop? We'll say social style partner work.
Perfect.
And people have been loving it because we legit teach what you can use in the social, and
Kind of
it's
like
not
even
crazy,
like moments like how you break away from a partner.
and we'll do shine.
We'll
We'll start doing shine,
and how you
and
get
then
back.
back.
How you get back
This
into
is
a
what we
partner
need.
work.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
we call it social style partner, and
So it's kind of it's fun. It's fun because it's interactive. It feels like you're social dancing as opposed to learning a pattern. You're dancing.
Yeah, that one has been popular.
It's showing people different ways how to get in and out of partner work. And
This
what
is
you
so,
can do
I,
out.
I love how you're excited just talking, over each other.
Yeah.
This is good. I mean, we have to do this because people, if we want a social community to keep living everywhere, we need to give the best for
Yes,
the land.
everything is
That one's intermediate friendly.
yes. That was
Okay.
intermediate. Those are fun. Those are fun.
It's
Okay,
it's
so Mambo Alo Ayala is what level?
Oh,
no,
that was probably
that's
advanced.
advanced.
That's fine. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And Michelle Morales movement?
What do you think?
It could be advanced.
Yeah?
You can choose. I'll let you
Okay.
choose.
She could do both. She does. She could do
Yeah,
both.
because this is the
Some of her
thing.
classes sometimes are harder, and some of her classes sometimes she makes it a little bit more
Yeah,
intermediate.
yeah. I think it's my music choices that are fast. It's not the footwork, but sometimes the footwork can be whatever you want.
That's how she
Okay.
feels that day.
That's how I feel that day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
We're
good.
excited. We're so excited.
We're very excited.
We've heard so much about this event. Obviously, uh, I know Yamule used to go when I was in Yamule. I want to do it. He picked me. But now we get to go together, and we're so excited. We've seen all the promos from like the years before, and it just looks amazing. Like specifically the social. So like I know you asked us if we like social dance, but oh my god, we see the social dance videos and we're like, oh my god, I can't like we
The
can't wait to be
concerts,
there.
yes.
Oh my god, the concerts you have right now. I don't know. I think I should have like been born Cuban or something. 'Cause I love all the timba music. I don't know a lot of moves, but I love timba. And we're just so excited with like the bands, the artists you're bringing, and we saw the venue, so nice.
I think it's so definitely has become an event where artists, it's like artists want to be a part of that
Yeah,
event.
yeah. People want to be a part of your event.
It's now become like a goal event.
Yes.
Yes,
That's,
that's
that's, I
like,
want to be invited to the event.
We have bucket lists. We have like bucket list events that we're like, oh my god, if we get invited to this one, like, okay, we made it.
So it's always definitely become like we made it event. It was like we made it. So we're super excited.
You're gonna say shirts. You made it. Check.
You made it, artist.
I have a dilemma because I connect with the people I work with. It's also I choose the people that I connect with. That may be this way. This is how the instructors are chosen. I mean, of course, the merits first, but then with not every professional, I continue working, and then I have a problem because when I want to contract someone new, I don't want to resign of someone old.
Yeah.
Because it breaks my heart, and I know also there's a community that makes the event, so I'm forced to keep expanding all the time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
and it has worked until COVID. Then there was a big reset. Let's see now, because it's at some point I just cannot fit in the schedule all the artists that I'm inviting, and people tell me you spend too much money. It's probably true, um, but yeah, it's I also always like to have like a full spectrum of dance. I want the people with great body movement and people with great partner work and people who are more for lower levels and for higher levels, and then there's fusion, and then so I like this whole spectrum of salsa, and this is how I pick instructors. That it's
yeah,
that
it's
it's
awesome. You're doing an awesome job because it looks great.
well, I can't wait to have you here. Thank you so much. I don't want to take up more of your time.
Thank you. This is fun.
Enjoy the
Yeah,
congress.
yeah, it was good. It was good.
Perfect. Well, I'm gonna say bye here now on Instagram. Bye, guys. See you in November,
See you.
everyone.
See you.
Soon.
elSol.
Yes.
In person. Okay, this is ended, and now we're gonna end.